So welcome to Salesforce Mars Colony. This is a multi-video series where we are creating a project that models a Mars colony. This is spurred by a large interest personally in the new space exploration efforts and space commercialization that are really being pushed by people like Richard Branson, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos, and many more smaller companies. So hope we learn a lot, and we're going to learn some functionality and get hands-on. And so now we'll jump into our org. Welcome back, everyone. We are back into the Mars colony. We are in our app now. And so from here, everything gets a lot more interesting now that we have all of our building blocks and all the all the objects are set up. And now we can start adding some functionality. So one thing I want to do is this app needs a purpose, right? And from our actual reality here on Earth, I want to be able to extract some sort of meaningfulness. So I'm going to create a chatter feed and place it in the app and have that feed basically give me a log all through the day of everything that's happening inside of the colony. So to make that happen, I need to go ahead and set up some processes that are going to make chatter posts, and I will be able to see those. Back to the whiteboard. So like I mentioned, we're going to set up a chain of communication and automated communication within the colony. So we're going to have spaceships, food, and batteries. So you could argue that on Mars, these would be some of the most important things, basically your transportation, how you're gonna live, and what runs basically all your stuff, the batteries. So all it is gonna be is just if statement. I'll just write one for all of these. It's gonna be if a condition is met, say condition. We're going to send a chatter post. Okay, so simple enough. It's an if-then statement. It's just saying if condition is met, then send a chatter post. So for spaceships, we're gonna want to set up the first notification, which would be arrival. And later on, we're gonna build more notifications, and we're going to have it into our feed that is on our app. So it's gonna show what's happening as we go throughout the day, what's happening all around the colony in one place. And that'd be pretty fun. Once it's automated and running, it'd be pretty fun to see what's happening. So first would be the arrival, and food would be expiration. So we're gonna start sending out notifications when food's expiring, also very helpful. And then also we're gonna have full charge. So it's just gonna notify us when batteries are fully charged. So we're gonna build each one of these three items inside of Process Builder. 1, 2, 3, and then we're also going to put each one of those into a chatter. So probably we're going to go ahead and go back into the org and start with creating each one of these inside the Process Builder. So first thing to do, I'm going to head into the setup and go to create a chatter group. And see Salesforce chatter. I'm changing the app now. Okay, so we're in here and you go to groups, and we're going to create a new group. And this is going to be Mars Colony Newsfeed. This is an active log of everything happening of importance. Scroll down. This is going to be a public group. You can upload an image. I'll leave that for now. And so I'm going to go ahead and add all of our people: Bob, Texas, Sarah, Nashville, and Penny, California. It's that easy. So now we have a chatter group. Boom. With all of our important astronauts. And you see there's nothing in here. So we're going to go to the Process Builder. And we're going to go ahead and set up some processes that are going to enable chatter posts to be created based on some things that are happening around the colony. So I go into the Process Builder here. The first thing I was thinking is that we want to announce when spaceships are arriving. So I'm going to say spaceship arrival process. And we'll say a chatter post to the news feed when spaceships are inbound. Okay? This process will start when a record changes. So it's basically when a record is created that counts as changes, but it will be that inbound status pick list that we have on the spaceship field, or spaceship status field on the spaceport. That will be what's going to kick this off. So process builder, it lets you choose your object, criterias, true, false, and then you just build it out based off of just the business logic. So I start with the object, find an object, and that object was spaceport. And so we'll start the process when the record is created or edited, because we're going to have the same spaceships and they're going to come and go. So a lot of information will change on the ships, but it's just going to, at best, just have reminders, give us more reminders saying the spaceship is inbound. So I go to add criteria here and I'll say spaceship is arriving. Spaceship is a field on spaceport. So I go in here and you see spaceships. I'm choosing that field. This is the conditions. I want to execute the actions based on the conditions met. So I'll say spaceship, and actually the field that we want to use, rocket status, and that has the pick list, and these are our pick list options. So I'll say inbound. So when the rocket status equals inbound, and this is kicking off when the record is updated or created fresh. So brand new rockets or existing rockets. That's our criteria. So if they're met, and then the action for that is going to be action type. You could choose all these different things to happen. And we're going to say post to chatter. Action name is going to be announce arrival. And then we're going to post it chatter group, the chatter group that we just made, in fact. So find a group, Mars Colony Newsfeed, there we are. All right, and the message is just going to be, attention colonists, a new spaceship is arriving, exclamation point. And so you can put a field information in there as well. So let's say dock number, I'm choosing that, and I'll say it will be landing at dock number, and it's going to insert the dock number, which is a required field for inbound spaceships already. So go ahead and save that, and that's going to be the end of the actions. It's just going to go there, and from there it will stop. Pretty simple. So we're going to go and activate that. Now we're going back to setup. We're going to make another announcement. So we have our spaceship arrival process. How about battery fully charged? So we want to know, we're going to be more versatile with the batteries in the future. Right now they are a lookup object to the solar farm, but it'd be nice to have a process here for that. So the description for that would be, so we know we're using the solar panels to charge these large batteries, and they're very important. So we want to announce to everyone when this happens. So the process starts again when the record changes. So when the record reaches 100%, however that happens, so the object is battery. When a record is created or edited, we just want to know when it reaches 100%. So edited is important. Criteria name, say has reached full. Conditions are met, that's what we want. And we could also do formula and do battery equals 100%. And I'm just going to do battery percentage equals number 100. Now what we also want to do, which is a cool feature, we can add rows to our conditions. So we don't care if the spare batteries sitting in storage are at 100, but we do want to know that the batteries are on a charger, that they're currently on a location, one of the solar farms, and we don't care which one that they're in. solar panel cluster. So let's say it's on a solar panel cluster, doesn't matter which one, is null false. So that's saying it's on a location which is one of the solar clusters, but it is not there, and that is false. So it is there. I know that's a little confusing, but it's just backwards, but it makes sense if you read it out. The conditions have been met, and so now it will execute our action. Immediate actions, post to chatter, full battery, post to chatter group. There we are. I'm gonna say battery, and then let me get the battery name. It'll just insert the field value there. So battery name has reached a full charge, and save. And we're gonna activate. So let's go ahead and make one more process here. And this one is also important. We're gonna have food is expiring. Okay, so this is just going to explain when food expires. So we'll have it when a record changes, the process starts. So basically we'll have it as when you first get the food, you know when it's going to expire. So that's going to go ahead and start the process to check. So if you remember, we made a field that's going to change every single day. So the record's going to update every single day. And that was the days until food expires, which is the difference between the delivery or created date of the food and the expiration date. So we have that value that's going to change literally every day. So it will check through this process, and we'll see when it's created or edited. So when it's edited, so for this one, we'll try using a formula, and we'll say food station days until food expires. That's that formula field, and we can just say, let's say less than or equal to 10, being 10 days. And if it reaches this criteria, then we know we're going to have an action happen here. And then for the action, we will say post to chatter food expiring, post to chatter group, the food, and then food name is expiring in, and then we're going to put another in here, days until food expires, and then days. And we want to put this in our chatter group, of course, and activate. Okay, so we have these. Let's go look at all three that we've created. 3 different processes that will create a flow of communication across the colony: battery fully charged, food is expiring, and spaceship arrival process. We get to test and make sure everything works. So I'm on our Mars colony news feed, chatter feed, just pulled up in the Mars colony app. Eventually it won't be here. I'm going to customize the app more, but for now we could just have the feed here so we can make sure everything works. So I go to the bananas that I already have pulled up here, and you see it expires in 7 days. Eventually we're going to have automations that simulate people eating food over time. So we have 99 bananas, but let's say I just ate 1. So quantity is going to be 98 now with 7 days to expire. And so now I go to this newsfeed here, and it says 1 new post. So let's see what the new post is. The food bananas is expiring in 7 days. And what we could also do is even edit this to say the food bananas, or we could say there are 97 bananas expiring in 7 days and be more specific. So I'll probably make that change, but let's try the other ones. So I go to the Falcon 10 rocket here, and it's on dock number 2. It's inbound, so it needs to have a dock, and that means it's going to be landing soon. So let's say I had updated the record initially, it was none or it was something else, and I placed it inbound, or I just changed the name just so I could have the field change. And so when I save it, it should notify the colony that something is happening. One new post. Attention colonists, a new spaceship is arriving. It will be landing at dock number 2. Awesome. So now everyone's in the flow of what's going on. Let's try one more, the batteries. So I go over here to batteries, and remember the criteria is only for batteries that are currently at a location because we want to take them off when they're fully charged. So let's go to this battery right here at 66%, and let's go ahead and put it at 100% and then save. Now let's go back to the feed, and there it is, one new post. Battery Duracell has reached a full charge. So this feed, and you can see I did some tests below, this feed will allow us to have the community be fully involved. Here's our members. Sarah in Nashville, Bob Texas is also in the group. And so everyone could be here and comment, share records, and really out of this chatter feed, an entire org can run out of a chatter feed. So this is just the building blocks for our communication chain, and we're going to add more onto that. And this is also just an example of how to use the process builder. So in the next video, we're going to just continue building chains of communication. We'll make a couple more, but then we're going to create a lightning page to add to our app. You see we have a whole bunch of tabs here, and we have the colony, but I want to go ahead and start consolidating and cleaning up our app and making it more functional, and we'll just keep building and building after that. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next.